Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I was thinking earlier, does the S22 Plus make sense? We have three different models that are coming out with the S22, just like last year we had the S21, the Plus, and the Ultra. So the same thing this year, S22, S22 Plus, and the Ultra. But the S22 Plus has a lot of shortcomings when you talk about a larger phone, because the Ultra is going to have a 6.8 inch screen supposedly. The smaller S22 is going to have like a 6.1, and then we look at the Plus, which is going to be about 6.6 inches, but it's not quite HD Plus. It doesn't have the 108 megapixel camera. It doesn't have all of the extra stuff like the 5,000 milliamp battery, and of course the Ultra is going to have the stylus because it's emulating the Note. I mean, for all, really it is the Note. But why do we need three models? And if you're going to get that model, what is the selling point? Because at the reported price of $1099, why would you pay that if you're not going to get all the premium stuff? That's one of the things, as we got to these $1,000 smartphones, they're supposed to bring a different experience. They're supposed to give you the best of everything. Why would you pay $1099 when you're not going to get the best of everything? You're going to have a lower screen resolution. You're not going to have that Quad HD Plus at the 120 hertz. You're not going to have the stylus. You're not going to have the big camera module. It seems almost kind of like a cash grab, and almost like Samsung is a little confused here. When you look over at the other phones, if you look at the Pixel, you get the Pixel 6, you get the Pro. When you look at the iPhone, you get the regular Pro, you get the Pro Max, which has the larger screen. Other companies are only doing two models. So then they try to upsell you with the S22 Ultra so that you will pay more to get that. And I really have problems with that fundamentally and principally, because a lot of people don't want the Ultra because it costs more money and they don't want the stylus. See, the most popular phone of the big phones has been the Ultra series phone. But in the past, it didn't have the stylus. That was relegated to the Note. In January, February, whatever, when they want to release it, you would get the S series, which is the one that sells more. I mean, the S series phones sold over 20 million phones in 2021. That's pretty decent. It's not as good as Apple. And I'm not by any means an Apple fan, but I'm just throwing numbers out there. And then you come around to the Note. The Note only sold 3 million phones last year. So you're going to sell a lot more in the S series, so they're combining the two, and they're taking away the Ultra, which is what most people want. See, the S21 Ultra I thought was pretty much perfect because it gave you the big everything that you could ask for. It was also $11.99, so it was cheaper than the last two phones. The S22 Ultra being $13.99 and the Note 20 Ultra being $12.99. So now we're going to have to pay more money. Supposedly, if we are to believe the rumors, it's going to be $12.99. That's cool, you get everything, but that should be at a lower price point. I really feel like there should only be two models. Why do you need a mid-range, premium, super expensive phone? The reason you typically have two phones is to offer two different offerings. You have a smaller one, like let's say the S22, it's going to have the smaller camera, it's going to have a smaller screen, so the larger enhanced display resolution doesn't matter so much because it's not going to be noticeable as much because there's not as big of a screen. Well, when you look at the Pixel 6, you got $599, and then you've got the two cameras. You don't have the three cameras, all that stuff. So there is typically a reason why you have a smaller one and then a larger one. Not everybody wants a gigantic phone, but really there's not that much of a difference fundamentally between a 6.6 and a 6.8 inch screen. But you're going to have one that has the Quad HD Plus resolution, and then you're going to get the better camera experience, which is what most people expect when you get a $1,000 plus phone. I don't know what the numbers are as far as sales, but I would imagine that if you look at the S21, my guess is that the S21 sold a lot and the S21 Ultra sold a lot, and the Plus probably was kind of lower than those three. It just doesn't seem like it checks as many boxes for as many people. And then of course you don't have the other argument where, well, I have to pay more for the Ultra because it has the stylus with it that I don't really want. See, I don't think as many people are as excited about this Ultra phone basically being a Note and replacing the old Ultra series phone. People typically like the Ultra series because it was different from the Note. You got just a larger screen, you got all the bells and whistles, but you're not paying extra. You don't have to worry about that squared off appearance. You don't have to worry about the stylus that you're not going to use. A lot of people don't want to use a stylus. I think that's pretty understood by most companies because if you look around, there's not a whole lot of phones offering a stylus with it. It makes sense with the Fold it makes sense with the Note, and the Note and the regular S series were always separate from each other. So I don't really like this approach, and I really feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense. They should have kept it, I think, the same way. It does make sense to have a S Pen that you can put inside the phone, because I will admit, I don't really like the extra large size case that my S21 Ultra has. You have to put the stylus in the side. But a lot of people don't want to pay for that, and a lot of people don't want that. And then the only other option has a dumbed down camera and a dumbed down screen resolution, and it doesn't have as big of a battery. And battery is king these days, especially when you look at the Snapdragon 888 this last year. Not the most power efficient. It had heat issues. From the reports I'm seeing with the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, it doesn't seem like they fixed a whole lot of that. It seems like they just modified it some, tweaked it for enhanced performance on the AI and the machine learning cores, and you're still fundamentally going to get the same experience. So my concern is, if you go pick up an S22 Plus, you're going to feel like you're missing out because you're not getting the best of the best. And if it comes in at $1099 like it's been leaked and rumored, that's kind of a frustrating thing for me, because I don't feel like you should have to settle. And paying $1,099 for a phone that's not maxed out all the way, really, to me, kind of feels like it's cheating people and leaving you with no other option than to pay more money. And the other alternative is to go down. Like, if you're buying a Plus or an Ultra, it's because you want the big screen. You don't want the 6.1-inch screen on the smaller phone. But then you're having to settle. You're not getting the best camera experience. You're not getting the best screen experience because you're having a lower resolution, which some people may or may not care about. I care about it. And if I'm paying that much money, I want the best. I talked about this in a video the other day. We've had Quad HD Plus since the LG G3, like, what, maybe 7-8 years ago? It's been a long time. That for the longest time, I mean, I think the S4 was the first one that pushed the envelope for Samsung in that department. Maybe it was the S3. I can't remember back that far. But looking at phones nowadays, if you're getting a Plus or a Pro level phone, you're getting that enhanced refresh rate, you're getting the enhanced resolution with the display, and you're getting better cameras, and you're just not getting that in the Plus, and you're paying over $1,000, and if you could be paying $1099. So I don't really think that it makes sense, and I think it's a disservice to people who actually care about Samsung, because they're whittling down the phone quality and the properties that are in the phone that you want to buy, and not giving you an alternative other than a smaller one or a larger one. The Ultra makes sense, but it's more expensive and it has the S Pen, and the S22 is smaller and it still doesn't satisfy those needs and those wants to give you the best possible experience. So I was just thinking about that earlier. It's kind of frustrating to me, and I feel like it's almost kind of a slap in the face from Samsung, because I think that they're putting you in a position where you either have to spend more money or you get an inferior quality product. And yes, it's going to be great performance-wise, but that would irk me personally. I would never consider buying it. I wouldn't. Personally, I would not. If I'm spending that much money, I'm going to get the best one. I don't feel like I should have to settle and compromise with that dollar value. If they were selling it for maybe $800, okay, that's one thing. But if the numbers are to be believed, we're looking at $899 for an S22, whereas you could get a Pixel 6 Pro that's fully maxed out versus a dumbed down version of the Ultra for the S22. And then if you pay $1299, which is what we're looking at, then yeah, you get everything, but that doesn't help you out in your pocketbook, and you're stuck with a stylus and a Note that you probably didn't want. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that it's dumb for Samsung to do this? Do you think that it's a disservice to their customers by creating this position where you have to choose between one or the other and you can't get everything you want in your normal size phone? At least before with the Ultra, it was optional for the stylus and it was cheaper. And it was one of those things where it was kind of an add-on, and now they've completely taken that away, and they're giving us a Note phone when we would otherwise be expecting a regular S-series device. It's kind of frustrating. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Go down there. We'll talk about it. We'll have some discussion, and we'll see what people think about it. But that's my thoughts on it. And as always, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.